Welcome, everybody, to Gorilla Booking Podcast. I am Joe Wolfgang, a.k.a. The Demented, and we have a big panel tonight because we have some full of information tonight for all of wrestling. Let's start with a returning face. Dior, how's it going?
I'm very well, sir. Thank you for having me once again. I'm excited to get into all this this nitty-gritty wrestling content. So let's get it rolling.
That's right. That's right. And then we also have that Ian Fox from Pick the Push podcast. We're the only podcast you can win unless you're server error 405. But how are you doing, Ian?
Can't hear him.
Oh, come on. This is that DJ shit again.
You feeling good?
His mic on.
Hope everyone's doing the same.
There we go.
That's right. Restart and speaking of why the guy he couldn't win, server error 405, my co-host. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
You're doing great. But I'm going to leave the last two because the first one we got to talk about is he's getting it ready. He's loading it up. He's got it in the chamber. My two-time double belt champion, the Dirty Dre.
I'm happy to be black and I'm happy to be back here. And all I can say is two fucking words: Bron Breakker.
I thought you were going to say Dada. I thought it was going to be Dada.
Dada. I thought it was going to be Mike Santana or Owen Hart.
Shout out to Owen Hart.
I said this in Gorilla back at catering. The man who's going to take the show for the rest of this ride. The man who is absolutely not a part of the vision, but he is seeing the vision of the future of WWE, the Master DJ. Let's talk about it, buddy. Where do you want to start, DJ? Because obviously there was so much to happen.
I have been waiting to get my hands on this podcast for 24 hours to talk about what we saw on Raw. I've been waiting for it.
Yeah.
It's time.
The promo right now, my nigga.
Because the one thing I know is that fuck Seth Rollins, fuck CM Punk. The next world heavyweight champion is the big dog, the future. And when he wins this title, I will say this, and I will record this so everyone can see.
I'm already recording
it. Twitching like him right now.
Here is your winner, the Messiah Slayer, the Vision Killer, the Architect Extirpator, the Shield Basher, the man who put Seth Rollins straight to retirement homes, the next world champion, Bron Breakker.
I didn't know you were such a Bron mark. Jesus Christ.
I don't even know what extirpator means.
I'm mad.
Yeah, he said excavation.
This is the part that I'm mad at, bro. He said I was going to record it. Like, this joint not already recorded.
Yeah, it's already. I hit record.
I think you're gunning for Paul Heyman's job, DJ.
Extirpator is another word for destroyer. That's what it is.
Excavate.
Shout out Samoa Joe.
Yes, so like for real, like they absolutely pulled the wool over our eyes, got us absolutely psyched for the.
Got me bricked up.
Damn.
Pay-per-view's coming up.
I think that's Joe this time.
And then
you froze. You froze
is
on
my
that
mic
one.
messing up?
You're good.
No,
you was like freeze. You're like Edge and Christian back in the day.
You said Dada.
5 seconds.
Dada. The 5 second pose.
5 second freeze.
Shout out to Owen Hart.
Anyway, the whole point is this. They got us this time. Normally we see it come, like we see the twist coming, we see the heel turn, we see the face turn coming, and they absolutely knocked it out of the park by all of a sudden Bron turning around and absolutely putting Seth in half.
With the credit gimmick
and the
too,
best part
which is my favorite part. I love when they put the credits like, oh, we'll see you next week. And it's like, oh, CM Punk's here. Or, oh no, what's happening? I love the credit gimmick.
Boo.
The best part about it is we're talking about the very last thing that has happened over the weekend. Like, and that's the biggest part of it. Like, because we all saw what happened at Crown Jewel We all saw what happened at TNA Bound for Glory. There were so many great moments over this weekend, but yet we're talking about the man who's got the rocket pack strapped to his back, and he's going to get shot to the moon. And I want to know, because this is what Guerrilla Booking's about, how do we get from that spear to him raising that title? I'm going to start with Ian.
Just for Breakker to win the world title?
Yep.
From my understanding, Seth's injured, so I don't even know if he's going to actually be able to defend that world title. So that means it would be vacated. So there could essentially just be a tournament in itself. Ultimately, what I would like the most is winning it organically, like through the Rumble, and then on to the World Heavyweight Championship. But there's no way they can keep it vacated for that long. So, I mean, in the close range, they could literally just have him be part of like a fatal four-way, LA Knight, CM Punk, Jey Uso, and he could just destroy them all, because why not? The Vision's been running wild, just like, anything else through SmackDown and Raw. I feel like that's a pretty big push. That's what I'd expect.
Let's go with Dior.
I mean, I first of all, I'm not a fan of this. I mean, I know everyone else is. I'm just not a fan of it. I think it happened too early. I think you should have let the Vision simmer a little bit longer. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense, and I'm just kind of sick of these storylines. Just kind of either they drag storylines on too long or they end them way too early when they're good. And like, I was enjoying it way too much. Now, maybe they have a saving grace and they make and I love Bron. Don't get me wrong. I love him. I do. I'm huge on him. But at the same time, number one, I'm not sure if he's fully ready for this. Number one. Number two, like, I feel like we should have definitely been able to just kind of bask in that moment for a little bit longer. That's my personal opinion. I know that the internet is split. I know that you guys seem to be all for it. But me personally, I'm just like, why did this happen right now? I would have rather this happen maybe at the Rumble, a little further down the line. Let this marinate. Becky Lynch just became a part of this. Now it's just dismantled, or it's just going to be, I guess, Braun and Bronson. Like, I don't know what it's going to be now. So we'll have to wait to see next week. But, I mean, if we're talking about how we get the belt onto him with Seth being injured, I mean, I agree. I would like it to happen organically. That's probably not going to be how the WWE does it, because they don't do stuff like that. They will most likely, like was said earlier, I forgot who said it, do like a tournament. Yeah. Or I think actually Ian said that too. Do a tournament or something like that. But all in all, I'm just kind of disappointed at the moment.
Oh. Disappointment out of one of the biggest turns, and honestly,
timeliness is everything for me.
I didn't read up on how Seth is injured. I didn't read how he got injured. Did it happen at Crown Jewel?
Yeah,
and maybe that's why they did it now.
That's why they did it now, because in the story it said it was supposed to happen next year at some point. So I think in theory, you're pretty much everybody expected it to happen, and it was supposed to be like sometime next year. But with him being injured, they just sped it up. So I mean, personally,
but it's also good though.
I mean, it's good. I don't think they're going to put the title on Braun right away either, because I still think they have the Punk storyline where he wants to be the world champion for a good minute. You have the Jey Uso looking like he's going to turn heel at some point, potentially, which would be kind of weird considering he's such a big baby face. He's so over with the merch and the kids.
I want to see him heel though.
I would like to see it too, but I just think it's kind of weird.
Imagine they switch roles and it's Jimmy going yeet and it's Jay going no yeet.
Just do a double turn, have them fight again, and have another
match against each other. I don't want to see Uso versus Uso. It's so fucking boring at WrestleMania.
If he turns heel, then it'll probably happen on a Raw or something. Like, I don't think it'll be
they're so stiff wrestling.
Well, I'm gonna ask him. Do you think in that there might be some, split bloodline feuding in there? Like they bring in, a couple other guys, whatever the case is, or do you think it's just straight up Roman J?
I think it's probably just Roman J.
Yeah.
I think for now,
and kind of going with the Braun thing, I think Braun wins the Rumble. I think they're going to do something like that just to continue to like push him a little more, because I think he's over to a certain extent. I don't think he's over enough to win the world title right now. I think that he still needs that one big moment that's like, here you go. This is going to be the next champ. Him spearing an injured Seth on a Raw,
but with that being said,
is a great moment, but it's not like something that's like, give him the world title now. Like, this is like
no, but now we get to see some more singles matches out of Bron, and not this tag team shit that we've been fell down our throat for 4 fucking months. We're okay with
that's
getting
what I'm saying. We need to see
more. I'm going to say this because for me, just watching all this alone, I've really been able to try perplex all of this and be like, despite the fact that we all had the thought process that Bron Breakker was going to be the massive future star, we can't really count out Bronson Reed in this situation either. Bronson Reed's been built up pretty well, just like Bron Breakker. He just beat Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel.
In his home country, and that's
that is a massive victory for a guy that not only has beaten Roman Reigns, for a guy that also beat Okada as well. That's two of your possibly some of the biggest stars going in wrestling at this point. And he's able to beat those two guys in each one of those companies. That's crazy.
He's definitely and the beautiful thing. Now I don't know if it was just an Australia thing, but he was over, like really over,
very over.
He's hometown.
You know,
it was a hometown win, and naturally with WWE's fashion, hometown wins are very rare.
Very rare.
And we had 2 of them that night. We had 2 of them at Crown Jewel Perth. We had 2 of them at Crown Jewel at Perth, which is crazy because naturally, when you go to your hometown, you tend to lose. So you had Rhea Ripley, they got the W. You had the street fight, which was the opening match, which I thought was crazy, but it did set a good tone. Like, good segue about Crown Jewel, though, by the way. Because we can talk a little bit about that, because really the 2 matches what we have to talk about obviously is the Seth and Cody match that leads into the whole thing. But the John Cena AJ Styles, I would call it the homage match, because it was just
it was great.
Someone said,
can we just talk about the intro? Can we just talk about John Cena doing AJ's intro, bro? Like, that is some goat ass shit, bro. Come on, bro. John's a fucking goat. You see what my boy? He's a fucking goat, man. Fucking goat.
That was amazing.
I hate Cena. I'm a Cena hater. I've never liked him because I'm older, so I always think of him as a repackaged Hulk Hogan. The way he produces himself, the way the product is produced, he's just a repackaged Hulk Hogan.
He just got a different style. That's all. It's just
they're all like that. All the main guys are like that, though. It's like from Hogan to Cena to Cody. The big baby faces are like
Seth Rollins. Like Seth Rollins, I think is like almost like a repackaged Rock or somebody like that.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far.
He's more of a Ric Flair.
Who?
He's more of a Ric Flair.
Okay.
Even though they're nowhere near the same
he's really good on the microphone. He's really good on the microphone.
That's more of a repackaged Shawn Michaels, if anything.
Okay,
I would say Shawn Michaels. Yeah,
he's a Shawn Michaels.
Okay, that's a fair repackaged Shawn Michaels. I can say that. Yeah, I can see that.
I'm not talking about, but when I say that, I'm not talking about like styles. I'm talking about star status of that moment, the moment. And I think Shawn Michaels is a good one. I think. Like he's not Hogan, but he's right there.
Yeah, Cena's Hogan. Cena's Hogan to the science.
Those are the only those people come around in different decades. You get your top baby faces and you run with them. You got your Hogans, your Stone Colds, your John Cenas, your Cody Rhodes. They got what they got, but then you got to build the ones around them to make sure the product's pure at all times. That's why you need good bad guys like a Dom.
He's more like a repackaged Triple H, if anything, if we're being more direct. Because
you could say that.
You could.
Because the thing is, Triple H was never the top guy, but he was always one of the top heels. No, because the thing is, in the Attitude Era specifically, in 2000,
he was never a WWE champion.
Yeah, I know, but when they left, he took that shit and put it on his back.
And yes, you are right. Like, from the Ruthless Aggression era, from the first part of it, yes, you could argue that. But even then, you still had your upcoming stars like a John Cena, like a Randy Orton, like a Batista, like a Brock Lesnar. And then the Attitude Era, when he was the top heel, he still wasn't the top guy because you still had Rock and Stone Cold there.
Yeah.
So they were always going to be the big that type of
Vince
guys.
was more
Triple H
prominent in a
always-
lot of the episodes
Vince was
than
the
Triple
top
H.
heel.
Yeah, but if you really think about it, Seth is
Vince
one of
is the best heel
Seth
of
is
all
like the
time.
top two guys. I'd say
Yeah.
Seth is one of the top
Seth
two
is
guys.
definitely the top two guys. He's easily in that top spot. So while I don't really fully
it's
agree
him and
with the whole
Cody.
comparison of
Cody and
while I don't fully agree with the whole comparison of Triple H because I feel like when it comes to how their careers have been, Triple H has kind of been divisive where there are moments where he is the top guy, moments where he isn't. While Seth Rollins, he's been the top guy for most of his career. I would say he's mostly like a Shawn Michaels from like the late 90s.
Even in the 2000s, bro, Shawn Michaels came back repackaged and he still was one of the top guys.
I still wouldn't say though.
Yeah.
I still wouldn't say.
I mean, when you
Seth Rollins
repackaged him,
has
you
been
made
the
DX,
top
and
guy.
DX was just going rampant.
Yeah, but DX in 2006 and 7 is totally different.
No, wait.
DX
I wouldn't say that Seth Rollins has been the top guy for most of his career. He has been a top guy for sure.
Yes.
But the top guy, I don't think he's ever been the top guy. Like it was Cody, it was Cena. I mean, Seth might have been the top guy for a quick second when he was doing like the corporation.
Oh yeah, Roman's
stuff.
there.
Roman's pandemic era is like untouched.
Let's put this. Let's get a
from, like,
definition of
2016
what
and up.
everyone considers a top guy. Because you can
The
throw that around.
guy.
What do you consider a top guy? Like the guy
All right,
who's
so
like the biggest draw?
not even just the biggest draw.
What do you consider a
He's
top
good.
guy?
He's got to be a huge draw with the fans. He's got to be charismatic on the mic, and his in-ring work has to speak volumes. If those three things don't ring, you can't be a top guy.
That's not true. That's not true because
There's
Cena
no
was a
way.
top guy.
I don't agree with that statement.
He is not an in-ring.
The thing is, for me,
Roman wouldn't be it.
Like
Cena's
for me,
that's why Jay's not the top guy.
Like for me, being the top guy or being like
Paul
the top
Heyman would be the top guy.
Yeah, he would be. He could be.
He's not
Like,
he doesn't wrestle.
For
Doesn't
me,
wrestle in the ring.
specifically, being like the top guy or the top female for like the specific company you're in is like what Noah just said, or like what Andre just said. It's like you have to have like the massive drawing power. And even if you don't have like the best in-ring ability, because there are guys like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, who had the star power and the charisma to get over the in-ring ability, they at least have to have to draw an audience. And that's kind of the reason why guys like John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold, and Cody Rhodes, you can say currently right now, and Roman Reigns are all in that list. Because no matter what, when they're advertised for those shows, people are going to pay to watch them. Or even if they're not going there, they're going to watch it at home. Because no matter who they are, regardless if you like them or they're not, they're always going to draw in an audience.
So let me ask you the question. When was okay, so you had Cena being the top guy when he was a top guy. You had Roman being the top guy when he was the top guy. Cody's the top guy now. So when, besides like when he was with the Authority, was Seth the top guy?
I'd say from like 2015 to like 2018, Seth was
the
that
Authority.
No, he was out of the Authority after 2016. He was out of it.
Okay,
so he was only in there for like a year.
Like 2015,
let me throw a wrench in there in this conversation. Since we're talking about top guys, there's also top girl. There's Rhea Ripley. Who do you think is a bigger person or a bigger top guy, Seth or Rhea?
Rhea. And the reason I say, and you want to know the reason I say Rhea? I have a friend of mine who does not watch wrestling at all, and I had a Rhea shirt on. He's like, "You wearing a Rhea shirt?" And I'm like, he's an MMA guy. He's like, "You wearing a Rhea shirt?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I love Rhea Ripley. I fucking love Rhea Ripley." He doesn't watch
that's a bad
wrestling.
bitch. That's
and
a bad
reaction
bitch.
from the crowd. Her crowd reactions.
It's like the
she
aura.
gets a good pop.
It's just she's got aura.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the aura. When she steps out, no matter what, when she steps out, she's a draw.
Yeah, that is literally how I measure like how
that's
popular
a top guy to me. That's a top
guy. You know who's the top guy to me? And I hate to admit it. I hate to admit it, bro. CM Punk. CM Punk's a top guy.
I hate to admit that
because I'm not a CM Punk fan. I'm not.
CM Punk is a and I think I even said this in one of my YouTube. I said this in one of my YouTube videos, and anyone who's like seeing this right now, you can go check that out. He'll probably put in the description. Probably not. I don't care if he does.
Hell yeah,
it's
fine. Talking shit.
But I'll say right now. I said in one of my AEW.
Send me the link. I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. I sent it in one of my AEW videos. Regardless if you like CM Punk or if you don't, He was always a draw no matter where he went. Whether he was WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, doesn't matter where he goes. He always brings a massive audience. And whenever there's a specific type of deal where people leave, they're going to leave as well. Like when a lot of people left AEW products because they were massive CM Punk fans and they came back to WWE because, again, they're massive CM Punk fans. So regardless if you want to try and run his name right to the bottom of the fucking I don't really care.
Easy for you to say. Maybe I shouldn't put the link in there.
Like you want to put him down at the bottom of the barrel and make it to where he's down in the ditch, buried 6 feet under, where he's like 48 years old at this point, probably should be to most people. Yeah. Regardless of how it is, he will still be loved and will always be drawn.
Do you think backstage drama that like CM Punk brings, does that affect his top guy status?
No,
he doesn't have that drama right now. Though
he can't
have
bring
but we're talking like when he tried to be a top guy back in the early 2000s.
That was, but none of that matters now, though.
That didn't matter.
We're talking about his status now. The locker guy back then too.
The locker room drama from AEW wasn't his fault.
But that's like it doesn't matter now, though. Like none of that matter. Like he hasn't, as far as I've like just watched him in WWE.
I think you're misconstruing my question.
Well, you're going to talk about him being a top guy years ago and how's the backstage drama.
He's a top guy. I'm agreeing he's a top guy. But like I'm saying, when a wrestler gets in their own way, do you think that affects their top guy status
in general, or just Punk?
Why would it? No, because we're talking about who's a draw. We're talking about who's going to sell merch. We're talking about who people are going to buy tickets to see. Like, what the fuck does someone backstage being a cancer or whatever we're saying?
You think WWE took a dip when CM Punk walked out? We know AEW did. It's a proven fact. That's a proven fact that AEW took the hit. Do you think WWE took the hit back in the day when CM Punk walked out?
No, because
then he was a top guy. It was him and Cena.
Yeah, but
CM Punk had a cult following.
They were like the top guys along with Bryan, and Bryan was gonna eventually have was supposed to have his moment, but then of course we all saw the plans for what was gonna happen in WrestleMania 30, and CM Punk walked out because of it because he didn't want to face Triple H at that time. So
I mean, Stone Cold did it too. He fucking took his
he did the same thing.
Stone Cold did.
And let's be honest, Joe, how many guys in the back were like called locker room cancers and called difficult to work with, and they were still at like considered top guys. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say one myself, and I hate this motherfucker, and I'm gonna say it with the straightest face ever while I look in this camera. I'm pissing on your grave when you die. Bret Hart had to be the biggest cancer in the locker room, but he still was one of the greatest characters of all time. That's a top guy. That's a CM Punk. CM Punk is I can literally say on record. CM Punk is another packaged version of Bret Hart. He's another packaged version. I'm just gonna sit here and say it to you.
Yep.
A package for how? They don't even have the same wrestling style.
They're literally the same person.
No, they're not.
Literally the same person.
What the fuck are you talking about?
They're literally not.
All right, so hear me out, right? When has CM Punk ever referred to himself as Phil Brooks? When has he ever done that?
Why would he ever do that?
Are you just saying that because he's the best?
He literally goes with his gimmick wherever he goes. He went to UFC with his gimmick.
So what the fuck does that mean?
I'm so confused. What does it have to do with
they're literally living their gimmicks. Those two live their gimmicks.
That's called wrestling, my nigga.
Jey Uso is not Jey Uso on the streets. That is Jonathan Fatu.
How is CM Punk and Bret Hart the same person? I don't understand.
Because they live their gimmicks and they don't.
He calls himself Bret Hart his name?
Because they both say they're the best in their catchphrase.
Best in the world.
First off, it's capping both of them phrases anyway. It's capping both of them phrases. They're neither one of them are the best. But they literally live their gimmicks. How many other people in here are even keeping kayfabing, living their gimmicks?
I mean, his real name is Bret Sargent Hart, so
his middle name's Sargent?
Yeah.
That's a sick ass fucking middle name.
Shout out to Owen Hart.
He should be the greatest just for that middle name.
Yeah. I'll say one of the only people I would probably say is keep like their gimmick alive and always doing it. At this point, I'd probably say like Darby Allin.
Joe, we got 8 minutes left. Where are we going?
No, Darby Allin just a retard.
Listen, this is well, okay. So we'll end the night with we're gonna change subjects a little bit. We're gonna stick on wrestling. but let's go with
I hope
TNA
so.
Bound
It's
for
the
Glory
podcast.
because no,
What else you want to talk
we
about?
hardly ever talk about TNA.
I've been waiting
Talk
for
about
wait,
Sarge.
I have to talk
Bro,
about
we're not
TNA. I have
talking.
a moment.
We're not talking
you
about
would talk
Bound
about
for
a
Glory unless it's
I
in a
went there.
bodega.
Yeah,
I've been waiting
Ian
for
went
that.
there. Ian
Listen,
took a
I've
whole
been
fleet
even
of people.
not even Mike Santana finally getting his world title so he can go hang it in a bodega in New York City. We're talking about a grown man fucking crying right now.
Why
We're
the
talking
fuck
about
do you hate
me
Mike Santana
in
so
tears because the Dudleys handed over their boots.
Yeah, that was.
That right there jerked the emotional chains on me. The
Dude,
Dudleys hanging up their boots to the Hardy Boys.
my childhood is over.
No, the
What?
match wasn't so. The match was so-so. It wasn't one of the hottest matches in the thing, but it's the emotional effect of the fact that for instance, this moment going forward. And the fact is with Dior will understand this. Battleground wrestling is very, very big in Philly.
There.
That man's never going to wrestle again, and that means we'll never see Bully Ray at Battleground.
Well, what
So
about
it's like,
this?
missed the boat.
Here's another thing. We had the whole Pick the Push crew live in attendance. So what
It's
was
true.
that moment?
No
What
one.
was that moment like
you
with the
cry?
Dudleys and Hardys being
You
there
cry?
live?
I definitely didn't cry. It was definitely a great moment. I was concerned for Jeff. It looked like he hit his head off the bottom rung of the ladder when he did his swanton bomb. The match itself was very confusing because I had no idea why it ended when it did. Like that, I still don't understand what the rules was. If it was a tables match, but like there was a lot of
So,
tables that was still
so the
broken
rules
too.
of the match where you had to offensively put both members of the team through a table.
So you
was
just had to
just
put both
like-
of them through.
It was just
But
like
in the very
match
beginning,
form.
when Jeff got blasted through the table and he was out for like a third of the match.
Yeah.
That was the Dudleys getting their first point. So when Matt did the rolling through and missed Devon and hit the table itself, it didn't count because it has to be an offensive
it wasn't forced to.
So let me ask you guys.
That's
I gotta ask
lame, but I understand more now.
That's such a horrible way to
get it. Rumble 2000.
Yeah, I have to ask this question. Was TNA Bound for Glory? I didn't see it. So was it good, or are we criticizing it?
It was good.
I have criticisms,
it was a
but I did
solid
like it.
pay-per-view.
Yeah,
it was a
I
solid
enjoyed
pay-per-view
it.
for being a third-party product.
Yeah,
because you got to remember, WWE's got their hand in it right now. WWE's got their hand in it very big because you had the main event was Trick Williams versus Mike Santana, which was a very good match.
Sure.
That was very good.
Third of the people left.
What is with the Mike Santana hate?
After the Dudleys match.
I like him. I like him.
Watching him raise that title and then seeing people walking out was the wildest shit I've ever seen.
Because he's mid, Joe. What the fuck else do we gotta explain? This motherfucker's mid.
I mean, I like him. I think he's all right. He's okay.
What else? Bro, if Dior, people are leaving while you're holding your belt up, you're trash.
Hey, there's a
You're
difference
buns.
between multiple
The match was over.
Hey, there's a difference.
Yo, Dior, how many
there is a
times have we
difference between
fucking how many
multiple
times have
leagues
people
and multiple,
left
like, get
when
the
fucking
fuck
did
out.
people leave when Cody Rhodes is holding that shit up at 40?
Yes,
No,
I left.
Yeah, nigga, I was there. I was leaving.
Y'all left because y'all niggas had to beat Philly
I was
traffic.
there
That's different.
Why am I gonna
Attended.
stay? What am
I
I
was
staying
there.
for?
Wait,
So DJ
leaving
left
after the Hardys.
DJ left because his mom had to beat Philly traffic.
Did you leave or did you stay?
Dior left
I
so he
stayed.
could walk
I
home.
stayed until the end.
No,
I stayed until the
nigga,
absolute very
I
end.
left because we live in Philadelphia and I gotta beat the traffic.
I had to make sure
What the
Trick
fuck?
Williams saw this.
All I'm saying is this, bro. Mike Santana is buns.
Did you
He
take
ain't
that
shit.
into the crowd with you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
To get back home.
Oh, I'm going to go back and watch the pay-per-view so I
Yeah,
can
what
find
the
it.
oh,
We're pretty far
I'm
back.
stay to make sure
But we
that
were
he
on the
doesn't
floor.
open up again. Like, what the fuck am I staying for? Like,
Not Mike Santana. I
I
tell you that
guarantee
shit.
there was one time I know for a fact Trick Williams. Sorry, I was not holding this. I had my other buddy Joe run up to him. He's like, "You want me to run up and make sure he sees it?" I was like, "If you want to do that, by all means." And he took the ball and ran with it, and he made sure he not only did Trick Williams see it, other people saw Trick Williams seeing this, just to be like, it happened.
He didn't take the ball. He took the clown and ran with it.
You know what he didn't? You know what he
touchdown
didn't
either
do?
way. I'm giving him
Yeah,
6
Hold
points.
up, wait,
Yeah.
Silver. You know what he didn't do? He didn't take the push. He didn't win.
He did not win. That's a big fact.
Look, hold on. Speaking of Trick Williams, I'm going to say this right now. Regardless of how much we want to try and like shit on him winning the TNA World Championship, I will give him credit. He actually did a good job as
who
champion.
shat on it?
Who shit on him?
Who shed on him?
No, when he won the title, because
I shit on TNA for the fact that they gave it to a WWE guy.
Why would you shit on
set up a loss?
NXT guy, technically.
He literally he had it forever, bro. I haven't even watched NXT in a while, and he had it since the last time I watched it.
I mean, his lawyer gave him 50+ days.
So he held the belt for.
Who's supposed to keep it forever, Joe?
Yeah, I checked. No. He held the belt for 100. He held the belt for 140 days, and I will say, in those 140 days, regardless of what I'm saying, because again, a lot of fans kept shitting on it because they kept saying a TNA star should have won the title multiple times. He kept defending the championship. I will say he did a good job representing himself as champion with the belt. I will say his run as TNA champion was miles better to what he did as NXT champion, because when he won the belt, it was an amazing moment. But when he had the belt, he mostly had lackluster matches besides the Fatal 4 match at Heatwave last year.
And how about that sold out crowd? And how about like TNA making some money off this whole thing? You know what I mean? Like that's the part that's where
Mike Santana couldn't do that on his own.
The one thing I love about Joe Hendry, the one thing I love about Trick Williams winning that belt is that it really started planting the seeds for the invasion angle. I mean, if you really think about it,
it started.
The story has been good. I think it's beneficial for both. And we got 2 minutes left. Joe, how do you want to end it? It was great for TNA. Everything was awesome as a wrestling fan this weekend. I'm very happy being a wrestling fan. I thought it was fantastic.
No, this was probably one of the stronger weeks we've had in wrestling, coming out of like having multiple pay-per-views and not having like watching 2 pay-per-views and saying one was actually way better than the other. They were both solid pay-per-views with no clear like definitive thing. Like we said, we saw a really great match with AJ and Cena. We saw the Seth and Cody match. We saw TNA Bound for Glory with the Bodega Brooklyn Street Fight, whatever you want to call it.
Bodega Brooklyn Street Fight.
BBS.
It wasn't even a street fight. It was a normal fucking match.
No. But at the end of the day, us as wrestling fans were thoroughly happy all the way up until tonight, until I really got miffed about Trick Williams coming back to fight Ricky Saints. But anyway, this is the Gorilla Booking Podcast. I'm Joe. That's Server. That's Dirty Dre. That is Ian Fox. This is the Master DJ. Watch your stuff. DJ, why don't you plug... Oh, there's the Simpsons hand. Why don't you plug yourself real quick with the last 45 seconds?
All right, I'll plug myself. Master DJ on YouTube. Type it in. You can type in anything. Type in hashtag WB, hashtag DWE Wrestling. I do content reviews, do DWE Wrestling, my own 2K league, and do a bunch of things on there. I even do my own promos for my own league. I even have the Uprising World Champion Noah and the Global Champion Demented on here. All great.
I will be joining soon. I will be joining soon.
Ian, quick, plug yourself.
Wrestle Dreams this weekend. If you want to enter the Pick the Push Royale, you can enter after SmackDown's over and be sad ultimately at the end of it, because I am always.
I will be sad. Thank you guys for watching.
Wave.
Love y'all. Like, subscribe.